Good evening, everyone. In today's lecture, we will discuss various methods of setting out of curves. So, before we discuss the setting out of curves, let us discuss some important aspects about the theodolite. So, you will see the picture of the theodolite here. Okay, let us discuss what are the various component parts of this theodolite. So, I'm starting from the bottom here. So, these are the 3-foot screws. 1, 2, and 3 on the back side. So these screws are used for labeling of the theodolite. Okay. Now we have a one screw here. Okay, and one screw here. So this screw as a load at a lower level as compared to this one. So this screw is called lower clamping screw. Okay, and the screw which is at a higher level it is called upper clamping screw, or we call it as lower plate clamping screw, and this is your upper plate clamping screw. Okay, now the screw which is adjacent to this lower clamp here, this one, okay, this is called slow motion screw for lower plate, means slow motion screw for this one. Okay, now similarly one screw is here which is not visible here. Okay, that screw is nothing but your slow motion screw for this upper clamping screw. So basically these two screws are very important. This is at a lower level, it is called lower clamping screw. This is at a higher level, upper level, that is called your upper clamping screw. And this screw is the slow motion screw for this lower plate, and we have one screw here that is the slow motion screw for this upper plate. Okay, now this is a frame, okay, that looked like a letter A. Okay, so we have these two legs here and we have this horizontal leg here. So this is just resemble the letter A. Okay, this is called your A frame. On this A frame, one A frame is here and another A frame on the opposite side. Okay, and on this A frame we have provided a circle, this circle that is called your vertical circle. Okay, so now this vertical circle we have graduations here, uh, 90-degree here graduation, 90-degree here, 0 here, and 0 here. So we can measure the vertical angle from 0 to 90 degree, okay, in this direction, and 0 to 90 degree in this direction. Similarly 0 to 90 degree here and 0 to 90 degree here. So this angle is the angle of elevation, and similarly this angle at the lower side is the angle of depression. So we have provided, we have seen that one screw is here, okay, and this is one more screw is here. So this screw is nothing but the clamping screw for this telescope. Okay, or you can say that the vertical circle. Okay, this is the clamping screw for this vertical circle, and just below this screw we have a screw here. It is not clearly visible here. Just below this one on the same A frame. Okay, so we have, this is the slow motion screw for vertical circle. So this is the clamping screw for the vertical circle. This is the slow motion screw for the vertical circle. And we have the telescope here, this one. This is my eyepiece here. Okay, and this is your focusing screw for the objective or the telescope. We have the object glass here. So this is the composition of the theodolite. We have two verniers are here. One vernier is here and another on the opposite side, exactly 180 degree apart. Okay, so this is called vernier A. Okay, this is called vernier B. Now vernier A means here the graduations are of two types. I will discuss in the next slide what are the different types of graduations. So here the graduations are from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, so there are two plates are there. One is the lower plate and one is your upper plate. Okay, and we have graduations from 0 to 360 degree. So this plate is used for the measurement of the horizontal angles. Okay, and this vertical circle is used for the measurement of the vertical angle. Okay, now suppose that if I am looking from this side, and in this condition, if the vertical circle is to the right of me, suppose that I am looking from here, and in that case it is to the right of me, then it is called face right observation. Okay, Now suppose that if I rotate the telescope in the vertical plane, okay, so that this object glass will be here and eyepiece will be here, and then rotate the telescope in the horizontal plane so that the vertical circle is shifted from right side to the left side, then in that case it is called face left observation. Okay, so if the vertical circle is to the left of the observation, then it is called face left observation. If it is to the right, then it is called face right observation. Okay, now rotating the telescope in the horizontal plane, okay, in the horizontal plane, it is called swinging the telescope. If I rotate the telescope in the horizontal plane, then it is called swing. It is swing here. Okay, similarly it is swing here. If it is rotated in the vertical plane, then it is called transiting. Okay, so these two terms are there. Just remember that rotating the telescope in the horizontal plane is called swinging, and rotating the telescope in the vertical plane is called transiting. Now next is here how to read the scale of the theodolite. Now in this slide you will see that here this scale is here. Okay, suppose that this is your vernier A. So vernier A is the horizontal circle. Okay, that is starting from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, suppose that the graduation some part scale is shown here, 10 degree here, 15 degree, 20, 25, 30 degree. Okay, and we have graduations here. Okay, so this is 11. After 10 it is 11. This is 12, 13, 14, 15. Then each degree is divided into three equal parts. Here, one part, two part, and three part. So this is nothing but your 20 minute, 40 minute, and then 60 minute. Okay, so the smallest division on the main scale is your 20 minutes. Okay, now each this is your main scale, this one, the bottom one, and the top one here, this one is your vernier scale. It is started from here. This is your index, which is nothing but your 0. Then it is your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, now on the main scale we have degree and the minutes. So this is your 10 degree, this is 10, here it is 10 degree 20 minutes, here it is 10 degree 40 minutes, here it is 11 minutes. So here the scale is divided in degrees and minutes, but here the vernier scale is divided into minutes and seconds. So from here to here it is 20 minutes. Okay, now here this is 0 minute here, this is 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, and 5 minute. Now each minute is divided again into three equal parts. So this is 20 seconds, 40 seconds, then 1 minute. This is 1 minute 20 second, 1 minute 40 second, then 2 minutes. Okay, so this means that the smallest division on the vernier is nothing but your 20 seconds. Okay, so here it is 20 second, 40 second, then 1 minute. Then here it is again 20 second, 40 second, 40 second here, then 1 minute here. So smallest division on the vernier scale is 20 seconds. So this means that the least count of this theodolite is 20 seconds. So minimum which we can read here is your 20 seconds. Okay. So just remember two things. This is your main scale. This is your vernier scale. Okay. Where the least count of the theodolite is 20 seconds. Now how to read this reading here? Now this is my 0, or we call it as index. Okay. We see that uh, this index is after which division? Now look here, it is after 10 minute and 10 degree and 20 minute. So this index is after 10 degree and 20 minute. So main scale is nothing but 10 degree and 20 minute. Now we have to see from here to here which division is coinciding exactly with the main scale division. Now I will tell you one a simple procedure. If your index is in the middle of any two main scale division, then you will have to look for the coincidence in the middle of this region here. Okay. If it is just after any division, suppose that it is just after this division, then you have to look in the beginning of the scale. If it is near the end of any division, then you have to look in the end of the scale. Now here we'll see that it is just before the middle of these two divisions, just before. So we are looking here, somewhere here, and see which division is coinciding with the main scale division. Now you'll see that here, this division is exactly coinciding with this main scale division. So this division is nothing but this is your 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So 5 minutes and 40 seconds exactly coinciding with this main scale division. So Vernier scale reading is 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And what is main scale reading is how much here? 10 degree 20 minutes. 10 degree 20 minutes, and here it is 5 degree 5 minute and 20 seconds. So just add that. So that when we are adding, so it is comes out to be 10 degree here. Okay, we have 20 minutes here, and we have 5 minutes here. So this means that 25 minutes plus 25 minutes and 40 seconds. So total reading, total horizontal angle will be 10 degree 25 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, I will tell you again. Okay, this arrow is after this reading. So this reading will be how much? 10 degree 20 minutes. So this is your main scale reading. Now this division is coinciding, means 5 minutes and 40 seconds is coinciding with this division. Okay, so just add that two. So we have 10 degree 20 minute here, we have 5 minute here, 20 plus 5 is 25. So 10 degree 25 minute, and this is your 40 seconds. So 10 degree 25 minute 40 seconds is the reading of the horizontal side. Okay, so in this way you have to take the reading of the theodolite. Now I will come to the methods for setting out of simple curves. I explained this diagram in the previous lecture. Okay, so there are the first step in setting out any curve is location of tangents. Location of tangents. So this is my tangent. This is the first tangent. This is the second tangent. So I have to locate 3 points. This point is T1, this point is T2, and this point is I. So how to locate these 3 points? I, T1, T2. Okay, this is the first step in setting out of the curve. So let us discuss having fixed the direction of tangent. This is my straight road here. This is my straight road here. When I extend this road, it will intersect at these 2 points. Okay, so this is my point of intersection I. Now I have to set my theodolite here at the I location. Okay, and set the 0, 0 reading on the horizontal side and sight the point T1, or you have to locate your telescope in the direction of A with 0 degree 0 minute 0 second on the horizontal circle. So this is my direction of the telescope. Okay, next I have to rotate the telescope in the horizontal plane and measure this angle, that is the angle of intersection, which is nothing but your phi. Okay, and sight the point B. So this is my angle of intersection. Got the point? So I have to first locate the instrument at this point with 0, 0 reading on the horizontal circle. First, I have to sight the point A. Angle remains 0, 0. Then I have to rotate the telescope and sight the point B. So this is my angle of intersection. Okay. Next, we have to find out what is the deflection angle. So this deflection angle is equal to 180 minus this angle of intersection. Okay. Then calculate the tangent length. Tangent length, this is the formula for tangent length. We have already discussed this last time. T is equal to R tan delta by 2. This is my deflection angle, which I just measured here. Okay. R is the radius of the curve, which is given in the problem. So we have to calculate the tangent length T. So locate T1. So what I will do now, when T is known to me, this is tangent length T. So 0 end of the tape is here, and I have to measure the distance T here in this direction. Okay, and locate this point A and put a arrow here on the ground. So my first point A is established. Similarly, I have to measure the tangent length from this point and again measure the distance up to the point T2. Okay, with the help of tape and put an arrow here. So this is my T2 point. So in this way, my 3 points are established. Point of intersection is established, T1 is established, and T2 is established. Next is how to set out the curve. So after setting these 3 points, there are two methods for setting out. One is called linear method, one is called angular method. Linear method means in this method, only chain or tape is used. That's why it is called linear method. Now these methods are used when either a high degree of accuracy is not required or the curve is short. So for unimportant curves, okay, we have to go for this linear method. The linear methods are as follows. Number one, there are 4 methods: by ordinates or offsets from long chord, by successive bisection of chords, by offsets from tangents. We have 2 methods here in this part: perpendicular offsets and radial offsets, and D, by offset from chord produced. Now among these 4 methods, the last one is the best method. This is the best method and is usually employed for the curve layout when a theodolite is not available. Okay, so this method, that is this method is the best method, okay, for setting out of the curve. Okay, so next is your angular methods. So in case of angular methods, some angle measuring instrument, generally a transit theodolite, is used in addition with the chain or tape. So these methods are used when a high degree of accuracy is required or the curves are of larger radius, as in the case of national highways or expressways. So for important curves of highways and railways, we are using the angular methods or the instrumental methods. Now there are commonly used instrumental methods are Rankine's method of tangential or deflection. This method is also called Rankine's one theodolite method. Okay. Then we have Rankine's two theodolite method, and the third one is your tachymetry. So in our course, we have 2 methods, the first method and the second method. We will discuss these 2 methods now. So let us first discuss setting out the curve by Rankine's method of deflection or tangential angles. Now look here, this is my diagram. This is my point T1, that is the starting point of the curve. This is your center of the curve. This is your radius. Okay, this is the point of intersection here. Okay, now suppose that del 1, del 2, del 3, okay, are the tangential angles which each of the successive chords. This is my chord T1A, first chord, then second chord is AB, then third chord is BC. Okay, so the angle from this tangent, that is your tangent length, it is called back tangent also. The angle between this back tangent and the chord here, this is nothing but del 1. Okay, similarly, this is my curve, this is my next chord here, AB is a chord, and this is my tangent here, dotted line here. Okay, so this is your angle, that is nothing but your del 2. So this is again tangential angle. Similarly, if I draw a line here, tangent line here, okay, and this is my angle here, this is your del 3, this is your del 3. Clear? So these are the tangential angles. Next is capital delta 1, capital delta 2, capital delta 3 are the total deflection angle to the points A, B, and C. Look here, total deflection angle means we have to take the angles always from this tangent, back tangent. Okay, so here this is angle from here to here, from this chord, from here to here. Okay, so this is your del 1 is equal to capital delta 1. Okay, for the first case. Now for the second case, for the second point, this one, okay, we have, this is my B point, so I have to join this chord here. Okay, so this is the total angle from the back tangent, that is nothing but your delta 2, this one. Okay, so this is your total deflection angle to the point B. Similarly, delta 3 for C point, this is my chord here. Okay, and this is your total deflection angle delta 3. So just differentiate small del 1, small del 2, and del 3 are the tangential angle which each of the successive chords makes with the tangent, previous tangent. So here this is your tangent, at this point this is your tangent, at this point this is your tangent. And capital delta 1 and capital delta 2 are the total deflection angle to the respective points. Now, arc T1A. Now, let us consider this part here. Okay, so this is arc T1A is equal to chord T1A. Let us assume this chord as C1. So because this arc length is nearly equal to the chord length, I assume it as C1. Okay. Now, what is this? This arc length is equal to R into twice of del 1. Now, you know the theorem that the angle between a chord and a tangent is equal to the angle which is equal to twice the angle which that chord subtend in the opposite segment. So if suppose that this is your del 1 between the chord and the tangent, then this chord subtend an angle twice in the opposite segment. So this is equal to twice of delta. Okay. Similarly here, this is my AB, this is my chord, and this is my tangent. So this is del 2. So angle between the chord and the tangent is equal to twice the angle which this chord subtend in the opposite segment. So this is twice of delta. Similarly, this is twice of delta. So this is nothing but R into twice of delta 1. Okay. And I change it into degrees, multiply by 180 degree is equal to this arc length or the chord length is equal to C1. So just calculate this del 1 from here, that is equal to, just solve this value here. So when you calculate this del 1, this is equal to, this is becomes 90 times C1 divided by pi r in degrees. Okay. So just convert into minutes. So what I will do is 90, I will multiply it by 60 into C1 divided by pi r in minutes. So del 1, when you solve this, this becomes a constant, that is 1718.9 C1 over R in minutes. Similarly, del 2 is equal to, just in place of C1, I put C2 here. That's all. Everything remains the same. So similarly, del 3 is equal to 1718.9 C3 over R in minutes, or del n is equal to the same constant. In place of C3, it is Cn by R in minutes. Okay. I have to calculate the total deflection angle for the first subchord. As I told you before, this delta 1 is equal to capital delta 1. So this capital delta 1 is equal to del 1 is equal to angle IT1A here. Okay. So for second chord, delta 2 from here to here, this is equal to how much is what? IT1B is equal to angle IT1A plus, this is my plus sign, okay, plus A times T1 of B. Okay, so make it plus sign here. So this is equal to how much it is? Delta 2 is equal to, this angle is your delta 1, sorry, del 1, and this angle is your del 2. This angle is your del 2. Now del 1 is equal to capital delta 1 plus small delta 2. Okay. Similarly, capital delta 3 is equal to, the previous angle is capital delta 2 and current angle is del 3. Okay. So del n is equal to del n minus 1 plus del n. So these are the relation for calculating the total deflection angles. Now check in the last, when you come to the last point here for T2, the total deflection angle for long chord should be equal to delta n is equal to delta by 2. That is total deflection angle divided by 2. Okay. So just remember these two things. One, the expression for del, that is 1718.9 C over R in minutes. Okay. The first total deflection angle is equal to tangential angle, that is your del 1. Then del 2 is equal to delta 1 plus del 2. Del 3 is equal to delta 2 plus del 3. Okay. Delta n is equal to delta n minus 1 plus delta n. Here. Now, how to set out the curve? Now, for setting out the curve, first you set out these points. First you set out the points T1 and T2 and I. As I told you in the beginning of this lecture, that these 3 points are established in the field. Then after establishing these 3 points, first what I will do, I have to set my theodolite at the point T1. Okay, and make the horizontal circle as 0 degree 0 minute 0 second and pointing the telescope towards this side. Okay, towards I. Okay, with 0 0 0. Now next, what I will do now, I will rotate the telescope in the horizontal plane and make an angle delta 1 on the horizontal circle, so that my line of sight will be in this direction. In this direction. Clear? This is your extension in this direction. In this direction. So this is angle delta 1. Now I know what is my this first subchord. We have a calculation and we know that what is the chord length here. This chord length, this chord length, this chord length. Okay. So why I have all the details here. That is delta is equal to we have the relation del is equal to how much 1718.9 C over R in minutes. Okay, so I have the data, I have the radius of the curve, I have the chord length, this is my chord length, so I know this deflection angle. I have to make this delta 1 is equal to capital delta 1, so line of sight will be in this direction. Now with 0 end of the tape is here, and I and the chord length equal to C. Okay, I have to swing the tape with 0 end here, and tape is spread along in this direction, and it is swing in this way when it is bisected with the crosshairs. Okay, then I have to put my arrow here. So this is my first point. Okay, similarly I have to make an angle delta 2 here on the horizontal circle. Okay, so this is my now line of sight will be in this direction. Okay, now with 0 end of the tape is here and 20 meter or the chord length will be here. I have to swing the tape in this direction. Okay, unless it is bisected by cross here. When it is bisected, I have to put my arrow here. This is my second point. Similarly, for third point, I have to make an angle delta 3. So line of sight will be in this direction. Clear? Then with 0 end of the tape is here and 20 meter here, I have to swing the tape in this direction. Okay, until it is bisected by cross here, so that the third point is established. So in this way, 3 points are established: first point, second point, and third point. So I have to establish all other points. Okay, and when you join all these points, this is my curve. So this is the procedure or how to uh, set out the curve with the help of one thread light. Okay, this is all about the procedure. Now the other method is Rankine's two-thread light method. Okay, so in this method, two thread lights are used, one at the point of curve and the other at the point of tangents. So I have to put two thread light. One thread light is here, another thread light is here. Okay. Now this method is used when the ground is unsuitable for changing. So we have a lot of bushes are there or some water is there, so we cannot do the chaining or taping in this region. So when the ground is unsuitable for chaining, we have to go for two thread light. Now, what is the principle? The angle between the tangent and the chord is equal to the angle which that chord subtend in the opposite side. Now this is my chord and this is my tangent. So angle between a chord and a tangent is equal to the angle which that chord subtend in the opposite segment. So this is my opposite segment here. Okay. So if this angle is del 1, so this angle is also del 1. Okay. For second point, this is my chord here. Okay. So one segment is this one, another segment is this one. Okay. If this my angle is del 2, so that this angle between a chord and a tangent is equal to the angle which that chord subtend in the opposite segment. So this is again del 2. Okay. So this is the principle of this method. Now, what is the procedure? One thread light is established at this point, another thread light is established at this point. Now with 0 degree, 0 minute, 0 second, I have to first sight this point, that is the point of intersection. Okay, with 0, 0, 0. Similarly, with 0 degree, 0 minute, 0 second, I have to sight this point T1. Okay. Now I have to make an angle del 1 here on this theodolite, on this theodolite. So my line of sight will be in this direction. Okay. This is my direction. Similarly, at the same time, I have to make an angle del 1 on this theodolite also. Okay. When this angle is delta 1, the line of sight will be in this direction. Okay. So at one point, the two line of sights are intersecting. So where these two lines are intersecting, this is my first point on the curve. This is my first point on the curve. So I have to point my partner on the ground that with the help of a rending rod, he can move here and here slowly until this rending rod is bisected by the crosshair of both the theodolites. That is this theodolite and this theodolite. Then you have to fix the rending rod on the ground. So this is my first point on the curve. Similarly, I have to make an angle del 2 here. So line of sight will be in this direction. Okay. Then again, at the same time, I have to make an angle del 2 in this from this theodolite. So line of sight will be in this direction. Okay. So these two intersect at this point. So we have the second point here. Okay. So in this way, all the points are established on the field. So this is your two theodolite method. Now this is the best method. In the previous method, in one theodolite method, this point, second point, is established with respect to the previous point. So if you do any error in setting out this point, that is carried to this point also. So that is the disadvantage in the one theodolite method. But in two theodolite method, every point is established independent of the other point. So this point is established independently. This point is established independently. So any error is not carrying forward to the other points. That's why this method is the best method for setting out the curves. Okay. So this method is the most accurate since each point is fixed independent. Thank you so much.